learning to live with disabilities, as well as learning to understand the healthcare system in America. All that and more tonight on America's Hope, which starts now.
This is America's Hope from our global headquarters in New York City. Here's Kelly Wright.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kelly Wright, and welcome to a new edition of America's Hope. We're glad that you could stop by. As always, as I like to say, we do hope that you're safe and well, taking care of yourself and your family because you matter. And what matters most to a lot of families is their health. They often say that health is wealth. If you don't believe that, get sick, go to the hospital, and find out how difficult it is to afford your health care insurance. Well, tonight we're going to talk about that. Katy Talento is stopping by to tell us all about it. I caught up with her at Pray Vote Stand, and she has a lot to say to Americans about understanding how important, how critical health care is. And then living with disabilities. We'll talk to Melissa Ortiz about the American Disabilities Act and challenges that it poses for people living with disabilities. Yeah, there's a lot we can learn tonight. Let's get started.
Welcome to America's Hope. I'm Kelly Wright, and I'm here at the Pray Vote Stand Summit taking place in Washington, D.C. By the time you see this, it will have transpired, and many people will be going out into America to pray, vote, and stand. And there are a lot of issues, as we all know, in terms of this election. It's extremely divisive, but there are a lot of issues that need to be discussed, and I have someone who can really do that with us. Katy Talento is Executive Director of the Alliance of Healthcare Sharing Ministries, and I wanted to make sure I got all that right. Katy, we've talked before. First of all, welcome to America's Hope again.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you in person, and we first met at this particular event a year ago, and then you were talking about the issues of health care. Has that been discussed enough throughout this presidential campaign of 2024?
I don't think it has. You know, this industry is a fifth of our economy. It's a $6 trillion industry. It touches every American family. It touches every human life at the most important times of our life, at birth, at childbirth, at death. And it's gouging our budgets. It's bankrupting Americans. Half of all collections are medical collections. Many people are declaring bankruptcy. The most common reason for declaring bankruptcy is medical debt. So what this industry is doing to Americans, Americans of faith, Americans with no faith, everyone, is inexcusable, and it's, I would argue, the most important issue in our country, because not only is it in financial importance, but it's a spiritual importance. And we're starting to see some conversation around how these industries are killing us for profit, or exploiting us for profit, or harming our bodies for profit. We're starting to see talk about that in the presidential campaign, and I appreciate that. For once, it's like a miracle to hear people talking about it.
Yeah, and the fact that many Americans are going through the problem, but they're not hearing it from their political leaders in terms of how to solve the problem, I find that troubling.
Yeah, we're the sickest, most medicated population in human history.
Wow, say that again.
We are the sickest, fattest, saddest, most medicated population in human history. And if money could solve our medical problems, if drugs could solve our medical problems, we should be the healthiest population in human history. But it's just the opposite. So everything we're doing is wrong.
You know, you're talking about things that I like the way you unpacked the health issue. From cradle to the grave, we find that here in America, we are confronted with health challenges that are overwhelming. I could get into some personal things of people that I've talked to, prayed with, and to talk about their doctor's care and the fact that they have doctors arguing amongst each other in terms of treatment for the symptoms of a disease, let alone actually discovering the disease and then trying to go forward. From the medical side, Have we lost our way because of big pharma, and have we lost our way because we have this philosophical debate within the science community about what works and what doesn't?
So doctors don't even learn anything about prevention or health. They only learn what drug to prescribe based on what lab test saying what at a given time. And so they get us at the end of the story. They get us, when it's too late to prevent the problem. And yet many cultures and societies around the world are healthy. They live till they're 100. They eat well, they live in the sunshine, they sleep at night when it's dark, they are connected in their communities, they have spiritual purpose, and they are healthy. And you can go to some cultures, there's a particular community in Eastern Africa that you ask them, does anybody here have back pain? And they're like, what do you mean? Chronic back pain. Well, a guy fell off a tree, last week. But no, they've never even heard of this. And it's like a half of all Americans have chronic back pain. So depression, mental illness, we don't know what health is. We certainly don't know how to achieve it with our modern medicine that we think is the greatest in the world. We somehow think that we have the best in the world. We have the absolute worst system in the world for generating health. And it's not only the fault of big pharma, of course. Our medical schools aren't teaching the right curriculum. Just last week, a panel of experts came out and said, we all agree that we should actually teach nutrition in medical school. So you think about a tiny little pill,
Yeah.
a tiny little pill that you put in your mouth. We expect that to have this dramatic effect and make us healthy compared to the pounds of food and beverage that we are taking in every day. We think that doesn't affect us at all, but this little pill is going to save us.
Hi, everybody. I hope you're enjoying this episode so far of America's Hope. If you'd like to see it in its entirety, just click on the link below. Thanks for watching.